Welcome to another episode of Home Sweet Home. My name is Rod McCall.
And I'm Scott Nichols.
You know, I am so excited. Thanksgiving is almost here. I am so looking forward to the food, the football, the sleeping in.
Yeah, I mean, if you're looking forward to the Cowboys playing football, I mean, hopefully they actually play.
I'm not holding my breath. Looks like Detroit will be a fun game to watch this year. The Chiefs play on Friday, so it'll be kind of nice.
Yeah.
So
I mean, all in all, I'm not a huge fan of turkey, but you know, I like food, so I'm good with that. I asked my wife if we wanted to cook something else this year. I think we're just, we already bought turkey, so like we're going to do turkey.
And ham?
Just keep doing it. It's cheap, right? We do ham at Christmas, so like, doing ham now is, it's just not, I don't want ham that many times.
Oh, I can eat ham all the time.
I mean, ham's okay.
Okay, fair enough. Well,
but hey, I am just happy that I have food.
Right?
I am happy that I have a job. I am happy that I am in a happy marriage.
Yeah.
I am happy about my kids. I mean, I get a lot of happiness going on, and I don't always, right?
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes I drag my butt out of bed and go, I just don't want to do this today.
This morning.
Right. And, I mean, I didn't feel that way this morning, but
no, I did.
After I got out of bed, I felt that way. But, yeah, I mean, it's sometimes life gets you down, and other times, you push through and you get thankful for things, and I think this is that season.
Well, you're right, because I was actually, it's weird how thoughts and inspiration can come from the most unlikely and unusual places, and I was considering that we are at the end of the year.
Yeah.
And I think that a lot of times the end of the year is a time to put things into perspective, to reflect. And I began to look at the things that have helped make me who I am. And I began to explore, I've got gratitude. And so I was thinking that, there's a lot of things and a lot of people, experiences that have kind of helped made me me.
Sure.
And
I mean, I think that's true of everybody, right? We are the sum of our experiences in most cases.
Absolutely. And I was thinking that I don't know that I always express my appreciation to everyone or to those in particular that, sadly, some of them are gone. They passed away, and I don't know that I was good enough to share with them. Thank you for making me who I am. And so I thought, in this season of family, in a season of, Christmas and New Year's, looking forward, looking backwards,
sure.
I thought, explore a little bit of gratitude and thankfulness.
Well, there's got to be something that everybody can be thankful for. Right.
Well,
like, for example, I'm thankful that the election ended a few weeks ago.
Oh, I got sick of those freaking TV
that's
ads.
Over. And I think that probably most people are thankful that that's done.
Yeah.
There's that.
I totally agree. And I mean, I was looking up a definition of gratitude.
Max.
And so they were saying that gratitude is a positive emotion, which I'm all in. I think that there's enough negative in the world that it's a struggle to find something positive.
Yes.
And so with gratitude as a positive emotion, it involves acknowledging the good things in life.
Sure.
And the role that others can play in those events. And I would think back, we're going to have family get together, and we're going to be at my dad and mom's, only it's going to be a little tougher again this year because dad's not there.
Sure.
And I got to say, my dad played a huge role in helping me define what it means in my mind to be a man.
Sure.
And so I'm grateful to him. One of the things that I am a firm believer in, that a person's no better in their word.
Mm-hmm.
If you're going to say you're going to do something, then by George, you step up and you do it.
By George.
Well, I figured that was more FCC compliant than something else. But the idea that, if you don't want to do it, then you don't promise and then bail.
Sure.
or ghost or whatever other people might do. So, a man's word is their honor.
Sure.
And I can remember my dad saying so many times, when you shake on it, well, then that's it. Your word is your bond.
Yeah.
And so I've come to fully appreciate what he meant by that. I mean, when you're 8, 9, 10 years old learning these things, well, it doesn't mean so much, but you get out in the world, and I truly do appreciate all of that.
Well, I mean, oftentimes we don't show gratitude or appreciation for things until we don't have them anymore.
Oh.
Right? That's kind of when those things come up.
Okay.
And so that's not surprising. Fortunately, you can still reflect on all that, and I'm guessing that on Thursday you're going to have lots of memories to talk about.
Oh,
there'll be laughter and there'll be sadness, but there'll be memories and being grateful for having got to spend that time on Earth with him.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. And I don't know, it's just kind of neat to look and explore all the different individuals that have come into your life, sometimes for a long time, sometimes for a short time. And I mean, I love being a school teacher, but I was heavily influenced by my 8th grade U.S. history teacher.
Wow.
And so much of how I teach is because of him. And so anyway,
sure.
I mean, I don't know. Have there been...
I think probably a lot of people have been influenced by teachers. I mean, I was influenced by an 8th grade social studies and language arts teacher. So
that's what he was. He was English. I had him for English and history. So
yeah, I mean that's probably the teacher, if I think back, that said the most encouraging things to me.
Yeah,
in a time when I wasn't getting a lot of encouragement. So that's what I reflect on when I think of my teachers.
Well,
but yeah, I mean, there's always something to be grateful for, and I think that's this season and particularly this week is a time to really reflect on that. And I read a lot of psychology based books.
Gee, me too.
Right, tons of them, and I'm not even going to try to be a counselor. Right, I'm just trying to figure myself out.
Oh,
right? And how to be a leader, and be able to kind of coach people and connect with them. And so that's kind of why I read a lot of those books. But you read about these things, and so much of it is about positivity. It's about being thankful. It's about empathy. It's about all these things that definitely connect back to gratitude, right?
Yeah.
And having that kind of a focus. I mean, we can focus on the negative, like scrolling on social media.
Yeah.
Or we can put that down and focus on the positive, right?
Yeah.
The positive things in our lives and in the relationships that we have. One of the things that I read was that we can only cultivate something like 150 relationships or something over the course of our life or something. I mean, it really isn't a lot, right? I mean, you can't really be friends with a lot of people.
I'll be darned.
You can only have so many that are ever really friends. You think back to if you go back to biblical times, Jesus had 3 really close friends in 33 years.
Yeah.
And then there was a greater 12 and then 120, but he wasn't really connected with every single one of those people, right? So so closely. And so, gratitude for friends, right, is really important.
Yeah, I truly do believe that, the people that we surround ourselves with, I mean, I think we've talked about this in other episodes, but the people that you put around you are a huge influence on, shaping not just who you are, but how you feel, how negative you are or how positive you are. Because I will say that when I can feel more positive, I don't feel so depressed.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel so anxious, and I can handle things better in life, because, I feel sometimes like the world is conspiring to kick you square in the gut.
Sure.
And if you punch you in the gut, then kick you in the butt, punch you in the gut, back and forth. And so when I can feel, more thankful, when I can focus on expressing gratitude, it actually makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Which I guess maybe goes back to why they call it a positive emotion.
Which is interesting, right? Because I found this article that I was looking at from the University of Minnesota that talks about 10 ways to be more thankful person, right?
Okay.
And the first thing it really talks about is that it decreased, being thankful, it increases your well-being, like every part of your well-being. It decreases depression. It improves love life, right? It helps you cope with more life-threatening crises that come up. You get, gratitude results in better health. Gratitude results in a joy and an amplification of positive emotions, right? So the more gratitude you have for things around you, the more positive you become. And that, of course, gratitude leads to resilience, right? Like if you're a grateful person, if you spend time actively, and this isn't easy, right? Like,
right.
Sometimes you get up in the morning and you're like, I'm not grateful to be having to do this thing, right? But you do have a job, right? And a lot of people don't. And so, getting through difficulties in life gets easier if you are more grateful about the things that are good in your life.
Well, if it makes, as you say that, it makes me wonder, and again, I'm just kind of spitballing off the top of my head as you say this, but this is a time of year where, we do reflect, and the holidays, I swear, can be more stressful than any other time of the year. But at the same time, as we spend time with family and we tell stories of, going back, remembering when, talking about family that may not be with us anymore, friends that may not be with us anymore.
Sure.
As we kind of go down these fun memory lanes, is that why Christmas or this time of year, these next, 5-6 weeks are more magical? Because are we putting ourselves in a different frame of mind that gives us these opportunities to kind of improve a little bit of our physical health, our mental health, our joy, our happiness, these positive emotions?
I think it is a happier time of year, right? Like it's a time that we are generally happier ourselves.
Yeah. And
it's cooler out for most people.
Well, unless you're in the other half of the hemisphere.
People are doing things like having, fires in their fireplaces. Yeah. And they're drinking hot chocolate and having, maybe doing some outdoor fires, especially if you're in the South, right? Like you're doing more communal things. You're going out, you're shopping, you're thinking about other people. Other than yourself oftentimes. And, that all leads to happier life.
Well, which is why I was thinking. It just, as you were saying this, and it really kind of makes me ponder, then, again, we're having all these positive feelings can, of course, maybe that's where that joy of Christmas comes from, because then once the first of the year rolls around, well,
sure.
First the bills come and then the IRS pay your annual taxes. And I don't know. It just makes me kind of wonder.
So I like this. I like this article, and it's got 10 things in it.
Okay.
And so I thought maybe we could just run through the 10 items, and maybe we'll just we camp out on some more than others.
Okay.
But I'm curious what kinds of things we may have done. You and I, or you may have seen other people do. The first one says every day say aloud 3 good things that happened. I've heard this before.
As you say this. Now, Sherry gives me anybody that has come to the McCall family dinner, they go, oh, my Lord. But when we go around the table, each person, and we say what we're thankful for.
Mm-hmm.
And I will say that it sometimes can, especially when we have the whole family together.
Sure.
Well, the food starts to get a little cold, but it is. I'd never thought about this, but yeah, we say, what we're grateful for, what we're thankful for, sometimes just that day.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of cool.
And it's important to think about, like, what is it that did go well? And I think this is a great activity, particularly with kids. So if you have children in the household, like this is a good thing to do.
Yeah.
And have them consider that. I mean, there's been lots of things in the past, right? The traditions that people have had, get on your knees and pray before bed.
Yeah.
Do things. And all that stuff is about, counting your blessings and all those things, right?
Yeah.
Like that's all part of the positivity. But saying some things aloud every day, even if you're just the only person in the room, say it so you can hear it. Hey, those are 3 things I'm thankful for. I'm thankful for my job. I'm thankful for my wife. I'm thankful for what little money I have in the bank.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it doesn't matter what it is, right?
Sure.
Just what is it? This next one I think is interesting. Keep a gratitude journal. I do not journal anything.
I've journaled, but I've never heard it called this.
Right. And so this is something that I've read about where people write down like little things that matter to them throughout the day.
Interesting.
Right, that they're grateful for. And I can see the effectiveness of it because, goodness sakes, I will think of something I need to do. And if I don't write it down, I've forgotten it 20 seconds later.
Okay, now that right? I do.
So if that's the case with something that I think is important that I have to do, then when I think of something and think, I really enjoyed that. I like that. That was good. I'm grateful for that. If I don't write it down, I'm going to forget it.
Amen.
And so at the end of the day, somebody who keeps a gratitude journal might actually have a very large accumulation of things that they wwere grateful for. And it could very well outweigh all of the things they thought were bad that day. Right. Yeah. So you go home at the end of the day. How was the day? Oh, I just want to go to bed.
No, I hear you.
But if you had a gratitude journal, you could be like, my day was actually pretty good.
Yeah. Okay. Well, as I scroll down your list, here's one that I saw my parents do. And I do this a lot with Sherry, and that is say thank you to your partner. But I also try and say thank you to my work partners, which includes you. So yeah, say thanks.
I don't know what I've done, but you're welcome.
Just keep being you. That's all I ask.
No, I mean, yeah, I think that's important too, right? We oftentimes think we go to work and we don't. We just do our work and we're professional and we don't need thanks or recognition or anything, and that's just not true, right? Like we're humans, and you want those. Oftentimes you're around the people at work more than you're around the people at home.
Yeah,
and you want them to appreciate, right?
Yeah,
and so part of that is that you need to give it too, right?
Yes.
So you need to show the gratitude as well as receive it. And sometimes the more people receive gratitude, the more they'll recognize, oh, I should give some too.
Yeah, no, and I'm with you. Like I said, I saw my mom and dad frequently express their thanks to each other.
Yeah.
They would share it with us kids, and so I try and carry that on myself.
So this one's interesting, and maybe you understand this one more as a counselor and your professional training. But this one says to cool a hot temper with a quick gratitude inventory. Right. Suggesting that the quickest way to dispel an energy storm, right, an energy of a stormy mood, is to focus your attention on the good things.
I'm going to have to try that driving home.
And I don't know if you learned that in any of your psychology stuff.
No, actually, I don't.
But
I don't remember that at all.
I feel like I've tried this at different times in my life. I've just tried to refocus my attention to something else. I don't know if it worked or not, but I'm definitely going to try this one.
I think the next time I'm behind the wheel, I will do my level best to try and try this, because I'm telling you, the way people drive here in DFW, they make my temper boil quickly. So, all right, we'll try that going home.
That's awesome. Try it going home. Yeah. Start thinking of the good things when you're racing through the cars. Dallas traffic is always fun.
All right, so what else we got here?
So thanking yourself.
I thank me?
You thank you.
I don't know. Okay.
You should.
I've never thanked myself.
But you've done some things that for yourself, right? So you should thank yourself.
Okay.
I mean,
you know what?
You've done some things to change your health habits.
Oh, that's true.
You should thank yourself for that.
Okay. You know what? Rod, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Tomorrow,
interesting.
I'm going to eat lots of chili, and I'm going to thank myself.
Yes.
But you should also, give yourself enough time to rest at night is what.
Okay.
That could be a thankfulness for yourself, right?
Oh, yeah.
Give yourself that time to get some rest. I didn't do that last night. I didn't do that this past weekend. And I was a bear this morning because I was struggling.
Okay.
I'm good now.
Okay.
I had lots of caffeine.
And
I am thankful for coffee every day of my life.
Me, it's my Diet Dr. Pepper. But yeah, I got
I do that too. So maybe I'm just, I got like 2 addictions.
Well, I got more than 2. But, well, looking at the next one on this list, I have a buddy of mine that does this. Now, I don't know if he does it daily, but it says here, use technology to send 3 gratitude messages a week. And I've kind of gotten in that habit. God bless. I love being able to send a text message or some kind of meme or emoji or something because I do this. Yeah. And I've sent these out to different friends or family that live all over, all over the globe. And
it's because we're getting old.
I guess. But it is kind of nice because I know how I feel when I get one of these.
Yeah.
Hey, they're thinking of me. And it takes me all of, 10 seconds to drop a short little text message. So
I don't think anybody has received a text message that's being thankful for them in some way or thanking them for something and looked at that and been like, why are they bothering me?
Yeah.
Right? Like it can only spread some positivity.
No,
right? The person's going to be thankful for your message.
I know.
So that's, that can only be a good thing.
No. And like I say, when I've gotten them, I go, because sometimes they come just exactly when I need them to help brighten my day.
Sure. I don't think that do this enough, right? I don't do this enough.
No.
I think that people used to send messages, by snail mail.
Well, I remember
cards, things like that. And now the way to do it is with tech.
Yeah.
And that's acceptable.
Yeah.
I still really enjoy writing a card out sometimes.
I remember loving my birthday, getting birthday cards. Now when we go on trips to get a postcard, though I will say when my sisters and we went to Hawaii earlier this year, we got a postcard. We all wrote a short little message on it, mailed it to my mom, and it showed up a week and a half after we got home.
Sure.
But it was kind of neat. And so, yeah, God bless snail mail, but I get it. It does. It's kind of nice to get something in the mail that's not an advertisement or a bill.
Sure. As far as tech, I think I've only done this with my wife or my kids.
Okay.
I should do it more and with more people. There's a lot of people that I could be thankful for all the time. So,
all right.
This is number 7 here. Savor the good moments.
Oh, when you can do it, it's great. But I tell you what, I have a hard time with that.
So I think this kind of ties back to the journal idea too, right? Like if you can remember how you were feeling when you felt happy and what caused you to feel that way, like maybe you can repeat that later. Maybe you can remember that moment, experience that thing all over again, and feel those benefits again and again and again. You'll do that when you go to your dinner, right? You'll think of your dad, you'll remember those moments, and you'll feel good in the same way as if he was there.
But I think what I don't do is savor the moment in the moment. I don't know that I take enough time while, we've chatted off air with some of our coworkers that are still here of how much fun it was before when we had other of our coworkers who have moved on to bigger and better. But I don't know that I fully appreciated at the time how awesome it was, our lunches and, just hanging out and carrying on. So I like that. I like the savor the moment, both in the moment and reflect back saying, it was really good.
We have those sayings, right? We tell somebody, well, enjoy it while you can. And it's not a negative, right?
No.
It's actually enjoy it while you can, because these things don't always last forever. There'll be another time, another thing, something else that makes you happy.
Yeah.
But enjoy this one while you can.
Amen.
Right? Checking for silver linings.
I like this too because I've tried more to look at, well, what's the positive? Because even no matter what, even in a negative, there's always a positive.
Oh, yeah.
And sometimes it's hard. And I'm not always a sunshine and daffodils kind of person.
Sure.
But I will agree that when I take a pause and I'm going, oh, yeah, there, you know what? Here's the positive out of that. It does, I do feel better.
Right. Well, I mean, I've had some negative things happen in my life, but they always turn out for good, right? There's always something. I may not see it at the moment, but I know that something good is coming out of it. And, I mean, if it's a situation you're in and you're like, I don't know, this is just bad, right? Just know there's something good. There is something good. You might have to look for it.
Yeah.
You might have to find that thing. And maybe the good thing is that you're just going to persevere through it, that you're going to make it. Right?
I'm reminded
that you're going to survive that thing and you're going to overcome it. And that might be the good thing.
Well, I'm reminded of the Garth Brooks song, Thank God for Unanswered Prayers.
Sure.
And, sometimes things don't happen for a reason, or some things do happen because something better is going to come as a consequence. And so yes, you may not always see the silver linings,
but you can look for it.
Yeah.
Right? And if you're stuck in a situation, right, some of those things might just be, what can I do here? And there's probably something that you can do that's positive. We can all, when we get into a negative situation or something that's bad, just sit in it and wallow in it, and nothing changes, or it gets worse. Or we can take it, face it head on, and try to get through it and make something positive out of it. So some of that is just how our response to things, right?
Well, and that's kind of what one of these other ones is change your perspective.
Sure.
I like the phrase, an attitude of gratitude.
Yeah.
Because by changing your perspective, looking at a glass half full instead of a glass half empty, I know that's cliche, but yet it's amazing when I can do that.
Yeah.
It really does give me a different attitude. And it's kind of like, okay, you're right. And I find that that's very beneficial for me when I can do that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that trying to refocus yourself and seeing something in another direction is definitely the case, right? And oftentimes that'll get you maybe going in another direction, something you haven't considered.
Yeah.
There's lots of people in their lives who in their 50s or 60s switch directions and do something different, and now they're famous for it. Right.
Oh,
so, like the Colonel with KFC, or something like that.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it's there's big changes sometimes that come.
No, you're absolutely right.
I think this last one that we have here is look outward, not inward. Right. To focus on others rather than yourself. I think that this is a good suggestion. We oftentimes we focus on ourselves and we get very negative and focus inward, where we could be focusing outward and noticing other people and showing gratitude for them and thanking them and recognizing them, and they will do the same for us.
I've had a lot of people comment and ask questions about, I think you even asked when we talked about what happened to Eric and his murder. And they, how did you survive? How,
I still don't know.
Well, I don't
know that I can ever understand it.
But I think part of it is right here.
Yeah.
By making service to others, it helps change your perspective. It provided a silver lining. And so as a result, I think that when you're able to, again, focus on helping others rather than just on yourself, you're able to change the narrative.
Yeah.
And again, it goes back to all these other things that you were saying that can happen, and it truly can. So I'm glad we saved that one for last.
Yeah. So I think that, as we kind of wrap this up, I think that, going forward into Thursday, if you're getting together with the family and the friends, and maybe you've traveled across the country or maybe even from another country back to the United States or the other way around, or you're listening from a military base somewhere and you're hanging out with other soldiers. Thank you for your service, by the way.
Yes.
We are, we want to focus on the people at the table and those that, are distant.
Mm-hmm.
But, celebrate the people that you're with rather than focus on, your own problems, right? Focus outward and celebrate them. I think another huge suggestion I have would be to leave the politicians away from your table.
Amen.
And if you're one of those politicians, that might be hard for you. But leave the politics out.
Yeah.
Celebrate the other things, the memories, the things that, everybody can celebrate.
Absolutely.
And the loss, the Cowboys losing their game. I can celebrate that.
Maybe that's a silver lining. We'll get a first-round draft choice.
That's my thing as a Patriots fan. So, but yeah, focus on the good things, right?
Exactly.
Focus on the good things that everybody can focus on. And I think we can have one of those Thanksgivings that's much more positive than some of the stereotypical Thanksgivings that we see in a lot of the sitcoms and things like that.
That is true. So, I just want to say as we end, Scott, I am grateful for you. Our show would not be what it is if I was trying to do this by myself. I don't think so. I am grateful to you. So thank you for being the tech guy and my sounding board and putting up with me.
Well, I appreciate that. And I'm thankful for you. I wouldn't even do this if it wasn't for you and your experiences. And, as terrible as some of those things are, and you're like, I have learned so much from you about how to live life, and how to go about that and how to get through tough times. And I'm probably still learning for a long time because I've never known anybody who's been through things the way that you have. And so you have a lot to offer for people in that.
Well, thanks.
I appreciate that.
Well, then how about we carry this on off air and maybe over an adult beverage?
All right.
So, I'm sorry, I interrupted you. My bad.
No, you're good. I was just wanting to say happy Thanksgiving to everybody.
Exactly.
Enjoy your week and, don't spend too much time doing the Black Friday shopping.
Fair enough. So until next time, my name's Rod.
I'm Scott.
See ya.
Bye-bye.